Hi, in this video I'll be showing you this. It's the Ezviz DB2 battery powered video doorbell. And what I want to do today is to get the video doorbell unboxed, get it all set up. I want to show you how easy or difficult it is. Clearly I've not done it at the moment, I've only just unwrapped this. So really what I want to do is to go through the whole process with you and see how good the product is. So let's start getting it unboxed. So we'll get this unboxed first. I must say, I have talked about one of the other Ezviz products. This was another camera that I've set up. I'll provide a link here to show you the setup process and how that all worked. That was one with a separate solar panel, and I must say I was really impressed with that. But anyway, back to the battery powered video doorbell. The first thing we've got, so this will need to be plugged in. Just showing you that on the back there. It's a 3-pin plug because we're in the UK, so I'll have a look at that in a moment. And we've got the doorbell here, so I'm going to get this all set up on the front of my house. I must say there are a huge amount of doorbells available in the UK market at the moment. It's a very popular item, this kind of product. Some people don't want separate cameras, you don't want to have wires trailing everywhere. Because clearly with some products, if you have them hardwired, then you need to start drilling through your door frame. On this kind of video doorbell, so you need to go drilling through your door frame, especially if you need to connect this up to your router. Some of them are powered through the Ethernet cable. On one of the other products I talked about, I did have to do that. I did have to connect it up to my router, and I must say although the setup process wasn't too bad, it's just a little bit more awkward. Hopefully that's the advantage of a battery powered video doorbell. So anyway, that's the doorbell itself. I'll have a look at that in a bit more detail in a moment. Just to get through to the accessories. So it's clearly labelled on the side there. Right, so first of all, we've got a cheeky little book of instructions. We've got some, they look like mounting brackets. So a couple of those. So we've got one more in here. What else have we got? There's quite a few. It's like a little kit, this is. All these stickers. So we've got those. There's some more instructions in here. I think it covers quite a few different languages. And what's the last item we've got? Oh, so it's going everywhere. Shouldn't really have done that. So we've got a little bag of screws and a couple of roll plugs in there. So we've even got a screwdriver. They've even thought to provide a screwdriver for us. That's really good. Little bag of screws. We've got some other little accessories and a USB cable. So what I want to do is I want to get the doorbell set up. The first thing that's recommended is to download the Ezviz app. As you can see, I've already done it on my phone. This is from where I did one of the previous cameras that Ezviz have made. But all I need to do is, if you haven't downloaded the app, just get the instructions out, scan the QR code on here. But all I want to do is, first of all, add another device just on here. Clearly this is a video doorbell. And all I need to do is just to scan the QR code. Wow, that was quick. And it's found that it's got the serial number already on there. I do need to power it on, so I'd need to go over to the doorbell, and you can see the on and off button is on the back here. So just press that for a couple of seconds. You'll see the blue light just flashed up on the front there. What this is telling me to do now is to initialize the device. And this is the chime, so what I need to do is I'm just going to go and plug this in on a separate mains connection. So that's plugged in and switched on. So all I need to do is just wait for the chime to flash blue. So I've just ticked that, then press next. And all I need to do is just to log into the router again. You just need to enter the router Wi-Fi and password. And now I've done that, then what you can do is you can actually label what you want it to be called. So clearly at the moment I'm going to call it that's the front porch. And just press next. And what it's doing is it will just configure the doorbell As you can see, it's going up pretty quickly, so I'll just leave this for a moment to wait for it to finish configuring. So you can see on here that it's got so it says devices added successfully. Let's just take that off. I always try and keep these protective covers on for a long time, so you can see the camera there. Ooh, that's me. So yeah, that's been added on, so that's working a treat. Let's just see what the next thing in the setup process is. So what we can do is, this is just asking to change the encryption password. So I just need to change the password on the device. So the next stage of the setup process is you can actually change the chime noise. So the first one that you've got is you've got the mechanical chime. So this makes a ding dong sound through a mechanical bell. Next one is the electronic chime. So it produces a synthesized melody from a speaker. And then if you want to, then you've got none of the above. So as it says at the bottom, the speaker can work with the doorbell. So that when you ring the doorbell, the speaker can be rung at the same time. I know it sounds pretty obvious, but you've got these different options here. So what I've done is I've come outside now to come and get the video doorbell set up. First of all, I do apologise if it's quite noisy out here. If you've seen some of my previous videos, then you'll know I sort of live by a main road that can get quite busy, so I do apologise for that. But the first thing is you do get this with it. This is a little template, and I suppose the idea of this is it's really good if you wanted to put it, for example, on the brick wall here. Then that's good, because you do get the full raw plugs and screws with it to attach the backing plate on. But what I want to do is I'm actually going to screw it into the frame, so really I won't need the raw plugs. Now you do actually get two backing plates with this, and I suppose this very much depends on where you want it to record. I suppose it depends on the height of the doorbell that you want. That's very much a personal opinion. But the two backing plates you get, initially they look very similar, but you will see that they're actually angled slightly differently. And you can go either way, so you can put them which way you want. And with this one, that's angled at the top there, and it's thinner at the bottom. So I suppose what I want to do, because I want to make sure that I'm recording this area here, so if somebody presses the doorbell, I want to see who it is. So I think what I'm going to do is to put that in around that location, and I'll have it angled down slightly. But really what I want to do now is I want to get this screwed in. As I say, you do get the screws with it as well. You also, so apart from the drilling template, you do get this piece of foam as well. So that's recommended to be stuck on. So what I'm going to do is I'll get this screwed on, and then let's have a look. So what I've done is I've screwed the plate onto the back. I decided to go with the slightly angled one, just because of the way our front door is. People do tend to stand to the side. So personally, I think having an angled plate is a really, really good idea. The next stage is to put this plate on. So this plate will actually screw onto the back there, and I suppose the reason they've done it this way, that you have to screw another plate on, is because clearly you don't know which plate you're going to use out of the two in the box, and also you don't know which way around you're going to do it. So with this has to be screwed on. You can see it says up in the middle there. So you do get so you got another 4 little screws. So I'm just going to screw that on, and then once we've done that, then you just clip the camera on the front. So I've got the plate screwed on to the back plate as well. You do need to be really careful, because the screws that you're putting in there, those 4 screws, are really, really tiny. I must admit, I did drop one and I had to go and find it. It took me a couple of minutes to find the screw. But yeah, just be really careful when you put those in. But once you've done that, then I'll just get the camera, locate on the front, and it just clips into place, and that's it. So there's no wiring to be sorted. I don't have to drill through the frame here. So in theory, that's it all set up. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go inside, because as you can see, I've put my thick coat on because it's freezing cold out here. I'm going to go and stick the kettle on. So I've come in out the cold, had a quick cup of coffee. Now we can crack on. So as far as through the menus here, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but it's just really to show you some of the options. You've got different working modes. So you've got the things like the power saving mode. So on this camera, so on the camera itself, on the doorbell camera, you can actually use it for about 115 days. So it's up to around 4 months before you need to recharge it, and you clearly get the USB charger with it as well. So to use it for up to 4 months without having to worry is really good. You've got the detection. So you've got the intelligent detection, so you've got PIR, so that's the infrared detection. I'll show you that in a moment, because that's something that was working away even while I was setting it up. You can actually set it up for human detection. That's just saying I can't adjust the parameters because the current mode is non-user mode, so I'll need to go into the user mode in a moment and change that. But basically through here, so that's I suppose the PIR is a really good one. But what you can do is you can actually change the sensitivity. Because of where we live, I suppose we've got quite a long path leading up to the road and we don't get many people walking down here, then I'd want the sensitivity to be pretty high to pick anyone up. I suppose clearly if you live in let's say a main street where you got a lot of people walking past all the time, then you probably don't want the PIR to activate. You don't want it to be recording every time somebody just walked past. You have got the option in here to only record when somebody presses the doorbell. That could be a good option. As far as the recording, as I say, you do get some of the free storage with it through the ezviz, through the cloud app. So you do get a certain amount of free storage to start with, so that's certainly something to consider. What you also get is you do have the option to use a micro SD card as well. Although it doesn't come with it, that could be recommended if you want to record it onto the micro SD. As far as some of the other options on here, you've got the notification, so it can tell you so you've got tamper notification, answer doorbell call. So what that will do is that will actually tell you, so it'll in theory ring your phone, and I'll show you that working in a moment. If somebody presses the doorbell, you might not want that. So I suppose for some people, for example, if I was out at work and if I got someone else at home, and if I didn't want to be rung, then you just turn it off. So that's dead easy, just do it through the ezviz app. What you can also do is you can change things like the image on here, day and night sensitivity. So a lot of this is down to sensitivity settings. You've got the light, so you've got the doorbell indicator, so I can turn that on or off if I want to. Also things like speaker settings, because you do have the option on here that what I can do is if a courier came to the door, if they press the doorbell, then I can actually talk to them through my phone and it will come through the video doorbell. So if they've got a parcel for me, I can tell them where to leave the parcel in a safe place. You've also got the battery level. So as you can see here at the moment it's at 59%, so that's okay. And it's just showing the cloud storage and the recording list. So at the moment the cloud storage is inactive. I've not actually enabled that. So there's quite a lot you can change in here. And I suppose it's really recommended once you get the doorbell, once you've got it all set up, then it could be a case of almost a couple of days of trying it. Because what you'll find is if you record at night as well, then you want to adjust the sensitivity levels, put my teeth back in, to make sure that it's suitable for what you want. So at the moment I've actually got it set up so that the PIR sensor will enable and it will actually start to record once somebody just walks past. So what I've done here is I've actually got a list, and it shows you a list here of all of the PIR events. So this is just me setting it up. You can just see that I'm just stood there in front of the camera looking a little bit bemused for some reason. But I'll just quickly show you on there. I'll try not to get the reflection from a window there. But it's just showing, so that's the video of me standing there. I'm just looking at, I suppose, just trying to set it up in the first place outside. But I must say, and I know you don't really get the idea of it, but the quality on it's really good. And even if you turn it sideways, just a larger shot of me. And then after all of them have been played, then that will show you at the end. Because I suppose what it does is it's put them into little snippets and it's lined them up for me. I just wanted to show you this. This is the viewing angle of the camera. I must say, I'm really impressed with this. You're looking around 178 degrees, the viewing angle. So even though I was a little bit concerned, because when I put it on the mounting plate, I wasn't too sure how far it would reach round. But even if somebody presses the doorbell or even just walks past, hopefully you saw on there that it picks up all the way down the path to my front door, and that's really important. Also something to mention, that the camera itself is IP65 rated. What that means is that it's fine, if it gets wet. There's no point having a camera that is suitable for indoor use only, kind of defeats the object. So being IP65 rated is really where it wants to be, and it is. So if it gets wet, when it starts to rain on it, which clearly based in the UK it will guarantee to, then it'll be fine. So what I'm going to show you here is what happens when somebody rings a bell. So first of all, it brings up a message here. You got the option to answer or reject it. So I'm going to answer the call. Hello, can you hear me out there?
I can.
Okay, so somebody has arrived at the door. He appears to be in his dressing gown, because it's a little bit late at night now. So can you hear me quite clearly?
Yes, it is very clear.
Excellent. Right, so you do have the option here, so I can mute the sound. You can also change the original sound, so you've got some different options here. You can voice changing intercom, but anyway, for now I'm going to keep it as the original sound. So thank you very much for your assistance, but now I'm going to hang up. There we are, and what that's done is that's just reverted back to showing the two cameras, because clearly I've got the two cameras on here. I've got the doorbell and I've got the camera that I talked about recently as well. So I just wanted to show you this. This is the live view. It's quite easy to do. This is the live view, and outside at the moment it is pitch black. So I just wanted to show you that, because at the moment, as you can see, it is pitch black out there, but I think the quality of the image there is absolutely fantastic. Something to mention, that when I put the camera onto the backing plate, you saw me just put it on, clip it on, and then it dropped down a little bit. I suppose a common question could be, well, couldn't someone just go and pinch it? But what you do get is you get that, and that's just a little device, and what you'll find is if you have a look underneath the camera, there's a little hole, and if you pop that into the hole, then what that will do is that will actually release a button, and then that will allow you to take the camera off for charging purposes. So that's included with it as well. So if you've been impressed with the video doorbell, and if you're thinking of buying one, I have provided a link below to show you where to get one at a competitive price. I hope you enjoyed this quick video on the Ezviz DB2 wireless video doorbell. I must say, I've really enjoyed making this video. I do like the Ezviz products. This is the second one I've talked about, and again, so far I've been very impressed. I just think the way it was set up, the way I mounted it was really easy, and going through the whole setup process is very good. Hopefully you saw that through the app, it was very easy to add the product to it. So even though I'd already got the app set up from the previous camera I'd set up, adding the doorbell was really easy. And that's really good, because it just means that if you want to add other Ezviz products into the range, then it makes the setup process even easier. But all I'd normally say is please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just leave any comments below on the video. I know there's quite a few different tests and different things I can do, but all I'd normally say is leave any comments whether you thought the video was good or bad. If I have missed something, then just pop it in the comments. If you've got any questions on the product, then I've actually got it set up on the front of my house now, so I'm going to keep that there as I'm really impressed with it. But anyway, thanks for watching.